Welcome back everyone. It's Mrs. McKay. I'm here to take a look at some problems dealing with the correlation coefficients. We have 9 problems to look at, so again, let's get started. Alright, in slide 1 we're talking about the correlation and they want to know what is moderate. And if you remember, moderate should be close to about a half. So you're looking for something in the middle, not something really close to one end of 0. You're looking, the values are from 0 to 1 and -1. So moderate is in this way, in the region there. So not something really close to 1, not something really close to 0, not something close to close in terms of close to 0, because this is no. So you're really looking in this region of the graph and this region in the graph. Something that's in that locations right there. Okay. In slide number 2, they ask us to categorize this as either weak, moderate, or strong, or even perfect positive. I wouldn't consider it perfect because you're going to have some that are far away from the best fit line, but it's definitely pretty closely, tightly together, so it's not, I wouldn't say it would be moderate or weak. In slide 3, they ask us to identify these 4 students and decide who has the strongest correlation. So we are looking for the person who is the closest to either -1 or +1. Keep in mind, you want to get as close as you can to those values. In slide number 4, they are asking us to determine how the correlation of these hours exercising and playing our games. Do we consider it to be weak, positive, negative, or moderate? So first of all, look to see, as the numbers are generally increasing, are the numbers increasing or decreasing? That will tell you if it's weak. If it's going down, if these are going down, then this would be a negative. If the numbers are increasing, because these are definitely increasing, going up as we go down the list. If these are going and are falling, or negative, it would be negative. If they are increasing, it would be positive. So that will eliminate one of your choices. And then you have to look and see, do you think the numbers are kind of close together? These are definitely close together. Are these close together? Or would you consider that maybe a moderate? In slide number 5, they ask you to take a look at this data. They literally ask you to calculate the correlation coefficient. This is where you're going to need your technology. And then decide if it's going to be a strong or weak or moderate kind of correlation. You can definitely see as these increase, that these increase, so you know it's positive. So it's a positive correlation. So using the devices that you have at your ways to find that, you can find out what the correlation coefficient is, and that will determine if it's strong or weak. In slide number 6, we have a story about a baseball team. They found the correlation to be 0.12 between the students' games due academic probation and the spikes in the team's scoring averages. So first of all, taking a look, do we think that this is weak or strong? And second of all, do you think one really has any impact on the other? That will tell you if there's a cause and effect. If it is, then there's a cause. If it isn't, then it's not. In slide 7, Brett's teacher observed his behavior for a week and compared the minutes that he has stayed on task in class to the grade that he has earned on the homework that night. She had found a correlation to be coefficient to be 0.97. So the question asks, is this going to be a positive or negative correlation? And is it likely, or is it likely to be causal, so like one causes the other, and or not? So you have to make a decision. In other words, the more time he's on task, does that improve his score, or is it going down? And you should be able to tell that from this right here. What kind of number is it? Hint, hint. In slide 8, this is a pick 3. They're asking us what is most likely to be caused. So you need to look at each one separately, meaning like does one and cause the other one to occur. So like in the first one, a positive correlation would be between the time spent exercising and the number of calories burned. Well, let's face it, do you think that one causes the other one? Do you exercise more? Will the calories you burn also be a cause of that? That's probably going to be, yeah, that's a good positive correlation too. So that's one of the ones you do want to check. So take a look at the other 4 and decide which ones that would fit a causal, most likely to have one cause the other. The last question of the assignment asks you to write, and so you want to always make sure you're using your own words, but maybe some clues here. You want to talk a little bit about the association between the variables. You want to include that if there is no correlation in the relationship, it is not going to be linear. And also, you also want to include it could not be determined if you change one variable, it will cause the other one to change. And so just because you change one variable doesn't mean the other one will change based off that information. All right. So remember, math is not a spectator sport. Get out there, participate.